Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. I really like seeing the movement I'm seeing now. Action towards Gaia is necessary and welcome. Change, this is how it begins, a little here, a little there, a change of consciousness, a change of attitude. I would say more, small changes in consciousness and attitudes. Never think that a small gesture leads to nothing. It is with a small gesture that a new consciousness is formed and it can expand more and more. Perhaps for a long time, the lack of awareness, the lack of care, the lack of understanding of what this planet was, led many of you to incorrect attitudes. In the same way, today many are aware of the attitudes that their souls had throughout their journeys and are horrified, for having been able to do what they did. Consciousness in relation to the planet follows the same path. At that time, in times past, in times of violence, in times of magic, in times of wars in the name of God, in the name of something that only brought the benefit of those who governed them, a lot was done, many lives were taken, a lot of suffering was brought to the planet and its inhabitants. But what was the consciousness of that time? Was there the awareness you have today? Certainly not, because you followed orders and orders from those who supposedly had direct contact with Father or Mother God. So you just obeyed. Over time, many things changed, but the concept of the planet did not change much. The planet was just a piece of land, of water, where you could take from it everything you needed without limits, and so it was done and is done to this day. So keep blaming yourself, be sad, keep complaining, asking Gaia for forgiveness. I'm not saying it didn't work. Forgiveness asked from Gaia is important, as it shows the first step of your consciousness, but what's the point of just asking for forgiveness? A past fact, a death behind the backs of other lives, nothing can be done about it, what's done is done. The only action you can really take is to ask forgiveness from that soul or those souls. This is a concrete and real fact, because there is no way to change that anymore, that has passed. So let's talk about the present moment. Mistakes made, serious or not, have consequences and you are living the consequences of the mistakes made. Now just asking Gaia for forgiveness doesn't change much, ease your feelings of guilt. But the big moment now is for action, for change. The request for forgiveness is valid, but to what extent did it change your conscience, to what extent did it change your attitudes, your way of living? I would say that in the vast majority of cases, nothing. I repeat again, many ask Gaia for forgiveness to appease their guilt, nothing more. Now, you ask Gaia for forgiveness, but you start to open your consciousness, you start to change your attitudes, you start to have other habits and customs, then yes, you start to show that something is changing within you. And I would say more, act, do something, just in a moment, you come together, plan actions and at that moment you do it. Then they arrive at their homes and don't worry about anything. The moment of consciousness was ephemeral, it was quick, it was just the one in which you joined that group and did something, for you, it's enough, you've already done your part. It will be? Is this enough? Or changing consciousness, is changing as a whole, is changing your habits, is changing things in your homes, is changing a lot of things, not just at a moment, not just at a time, not just saying nice things. The main focus is to do, to change, to find new paths and new solutions. So I say to each of you, I see you are very excited about doing actions for Gaia. We like that, we are very happy to see that you are becoming aware. However, I would like this awareness not to be momentary, that it were an attitude to be experienced at all times, at all times. Don't just be that small flame, which when it finds a dry bush, takes strength, burns, 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 and when the bush ends, the flame also ends. Don't be that flame, don't burn anything. Yes, you have to be active like that flame, vibrant like that flame, but don't lose the stimulus at the end. When I say, don't burn anything, I'm not literally saying that you're going to set anything on fire, it's just that you don't burn out this enthusiasm that is emerging now. I tell you that talking, planning, putting together ideas is easy. Now I want to see the action itself. So many get together, many conversations, many give ideas, and what is actually done? I would say very little. And once again I would like to suggest what we have been saying for some time here, creating new paths takes work, leads to mistakes, and often even wastes time. There are already many groups out there working for Gaia, taking effective actions in favor of Gaia. So this is not the time for you to sit around, get together, put ideas on paper, because when it comes to applying these ideas, you will encounter countless obstacles and perhaps lose the strength and energy you have now, because there will be so many obstacles to overcome, that you will lose enthusiasm. So why not do it differently? Look for those who already do it. This is not the time for ego. Oh no, I was the one who created this idea, I was the one who had the thought, so it has to be my way. There is no more ego at this moment. The moment is for action, the moment is for joint actions, actions with those who have already been through it all and now know how to face the obstacles. Never forget that where you live, there are laws, there are rules. So it's not just that you wake up one day and decide that you're going to plant 1,000 trees wherever you go, it's not like that, it can't be like that. There are laws, there are standards in every city, in every state, in every country. And those who have already been through it all already know exactly what they can and cannot do. So the moment now is not about creating anything, the moment now is about union. Get in touch with those who already do it, with those who may be idling today because they don't have people to help. And you, as this great group, can be those people and start making a real difference. Don't get caught up in being in groups here or there, we are talking about Gaia. We are not talking about any other subject. So don't be tied to limits, barriers, spread out across the planet. It is not by creating little groups that you will do much. Everything has rules, everything has laws, and everything brings obstacles. So if you want to unite, unite with those who already exist and already know what to do. Propose your ideas, create new ideas, present, but listen to those who have already tried to do a lot and failed. So don't let your ego speak louder. It has to be my way, it has to be the way I said. Right now, this can no longer happen. The action is joint, the action is everyone acting for the planet. Forget the limits of these groups here. The action is global, it is not individual, it is not the action of a single channel, the action belongs to everyone. This is what we are asking for. So stop limiting yourself, stop wanting to do things your way. If we are saying this, it is because we already know the result, which will be practically zero if you decide to start from scratch. Look for those who are already working. Ask for our help and we will take you to those groups, to those entities that are already doing good work and that are often at a standstill because they no longer have help. So ask us to take you to them and we will. Don't waste time in creating roads, if there are already people who have already opened these roads. Don't want to assert your egos. There is no longer any ego acting at this moment. The moment is global, the moment is for the planet. Don't try to show up because it was your idea. You have a brilliant idea, great, pass it on to others, don't want to be the one who does everything alone, just because it's your idea. But if you don't agree with anything I'm saying, feel free to do whatever you want. Now, don't complain later, then don't look back and remember, wow, we lost a lot of time and we were warned about that. We are warning you, we are not here privileging anyone. All we want is for you to join those already doing some work. Grow these groups, make these groups stronger, because the larger the groups, the greater the performance and the greater the result. So if each of you, instead of thinking, "What am I going to do? What can I invent?" look for someone who already does it. Small ideas are good, but because I know the human mind exactly, I tell you that if you, like a simple seed, present an idea to those around you, it will hardly be applied. Now, if a large entity starts to do propaganda work, spreading the idea to the whole, this changes the situation. Because people respect ideas that come from entities more than just from one person. Don't forget that we see the human mind, and we know that no one likes to accept ideas from others. Who is he to tell me what to do? That's how you think, the vast majority. So, the achievement, the idea, has to come from something a little bigger. Then people start to realize that that idea has already spread to many places on the planet. And then they may even change their mind, they may accept those ideas. In closing, I will repeat, you have free will. Do what you think is right. I'm just showing you the easiest way, the most prosperous way, and the way that will give you a better result in much less time.